They confiscate the buildings, destroy them, and our meetings come to be during the night, in the basements, under the woods, or in the caves on the mountains. We have huge mountains. Because the secret communist police called KGB, they search everywhere to find people who worship living God. One of the rules, and the rest of the organizations and the official church, which is Eastern Orthodox, similar like Catholics, they obey the rules, and the doors of the official churches was been closed for young people. The parents cannot bring their children to the church. And KGB stay on the corner and look. If some parents try to bring the children, they took him away. Our pastors decided to stay underground, disobey all these rules. There was many more. But this creates a lot of problems, a lot of persecution. My grandfather, who came to be a bishop over this fellowship, stayed in prison 15 years. And he passed away in prison. My father came to be in his office as a bishop over this fellowship. My father passed away in 1983. He was 66 years old, but because of the heavy persecution, he passed away. God called me on the ministry when I was 15 years old. How come? I have no idea. I don't plan to be in the ministry. I know all these situations. I never have a dream to be a pastor. To be a preacher, no. It's dangerous. Even I go to the church. I've been arrested as a young child together with my parents because they found us on a church meeting. And I know what is. I don't like it. But when I was 15 years old, the communists realized something. They cannot stop apostolic families to teach their children to believe Jesus Christ. And they passed another law. All children from the apostolic families supposed to be taken out. And the government will take care for them. Give them to the government. I refuse to leave the family. They stopped me from the school. The schools was government schools, everything there in control. And I pray and say, Lord, what I shall do? Without high school, in the communist country, you cannot drive car. If you do not graduate from high school, you cannot drive car. You cannot get your driver license. You cannot find any kind of job without diploma from high school. What I shall do? And I pray. My father says, son, I cannot help you. It's your decision. I cannot tell you stay. I cannot tell you go. If he says something, he'll be in prison. And God spoke to me with real voice. This was first time to hear his voice. And God spoke to me something and took my attention because he promised to me education. I love education. My last degree I took 4 years ago. Crazy. And because Jesus promised to me, education. I say, okay. He says, I'm ready and I can provide everything for you. You need to obey me and just trust me. I say, tell me what I should do, Lord. Because I'm expecting him to tell me what I'm supposed to do to get education. And he says, start to travel around the country and help young people of underground churches to stay with the parents, not to leave the families. I have no knowledge what this means, to work against the government. But because the promise of education, I say, I'm gone. And I traveled 4 years around the country, been arrested many times. But always, they released me because Jesus promised to me open door. I set up in the front of you, open door. There is no man who can shut this door. Let's make the long story short. He gave it to me opportunity not just to finish my high school. Lately I took 3 secular degrees. Glory. Hallelujah. I told you I love education. But anyway, I made many friends in this way. When I turned 19 years old, they called me to attend the Communist Army. It was an obligation for every young man to be in the army 2 or 3 years. It wasn't difficult. There is no war. Peaceful. The communists are in control for everything. That's fine. But to be a member of underground church and to be a leader of the youth and be in the army wasn't easy. Very first day they called me to the main office and they showed me a huge folder of the records of myself, my father, and my grandfather. They keep everything in records. And they say, we understand nobody can stop you to believe God. We don't want to ask you to deny your God. Just sign a piece of paper and everything will be okay. They say, let's make a deal. When the world offers you a deal, it's not too good. And they show me this paper. It says, I don't believe God. What is different? To confess, verbal, or to sign it. I refused to sign it, and they sent me in prison for 6 months. When the communism collapsed, I was able to come first time to the States. My first visit was in Houston, Texas, Brother James Kilgore's church. And I found one of the brothers there serve as a chaplain in the prison, in jail. I asked him to take me to the jail to see how the jail looked like in the free country of United States of America. He did, and let me tell you, it's a good place to be. It looked like a rehabilitation center. Outside was too hot in Houston. It was month of May. Inside in the jail, they have air conditioners. They have a TV in the rooms. They feed him 3 meals every day. It's not a prison. It's not a jail.